Liverpool, a city built on ships, music and a whole lot of heart. Today, we're hitting the streets with no plan, just seeing where the day takes us. From iconic docks and soaring cathedrals, to street art, markets, Mathew Street madness and sunsets over the Mersey. It's all coming up. Stick around, you're about to see Liverpool the way it's meant to be seen, on foot, with open eyes and an open mind. Hey guys, welcome to Liverpool in the UK, home to the Beatles and to the Liverpool Football Club, both of which we will not really concentrate on today. No real plan today, just to wander. I know where the big stuff is, let's see what finds us on the way. And our first stop here today is St George's Hall, which you can see just behind me here. St George's Hall, Liverpool's temple of justice and celebration. Courtrooms at one end, concert halls at the other. Bit of law and a bit of dancing. Classic Scouse balance. Massive columns, classic Greek style. Because if you're building a civic hall, you may as well go full Olympus on it. Prince Albert, forever frozen in bronze, wondering why he agreed to marry into that family. The Steeple Fountain, donated in 1877 by Mayor Richard Steeple to spruce up this end of the square. Cast iron French design, and currently not a drop of water in sight. Walking on from St George's Hall now, and I walk past Walker Art Gallery and the World Museum. I'm not going to go in today though, I'm just looking from the outside. And I walk on to St John's Gardens. This is a quiet little pocket behind all of these grand buildings. It was once a cemetery and now is a green space with statues of local legends. You've got writers, reformers, politicians, all keeping watch while people eat their lunch or escape from the shops for 5 minutes. It's peaceful and it's full of character, and it's probably the calmest spot in the city centre. I continue on down Whitechapel Street, one of Liverpool's central shopping districts. Street performers are doing their thing and giving the city a really cool, funky vibe. I continue on and turn left onto Church Street, where I come across the Lyceum Post Office. Opened in 1802 as a library and gentlemen's club, now a post office with a past. So first impressions, Liverpool is much more lively than Manchester, but maybe that's got something to do with the weather. It's a much nicer day today than what it was in Manchester yesterday. I'm heading up to St Luke's, better known around here as a bombed out church. You'll see why in a sec. And here we are at St Luke's bombed church, an historical ruin which was bombed in World War II. Left roofless since the Blitz in 1941 and never rebuilt. A war memorial now, and one of Liverpool's most iconic silhouettes. No roof, no windows, and that's exactly how they've kept it. The bombed out church hasn't been rebuilt, just preserved. A reminder of what the city's been through, and the strength in choosing to leave some things standing just as they are. This was meant to be a place of worship for the well-to-do Georgians, with fancy stained glass and a tower you can spot from miles off. Then the Blitz hit, and that was that. They never rebuilt it, and now it's probably the most atmospheric gig venue in the city. Here's a strange one. Before it was bombed, there was actually talk of sticking a road right through it. Not exactly sacred ground if you're town planning in the 1930s apparently. These days, you'll find everything from open-air cinema nights to yoga classes inside. Bit of a twist really. A place built for sermons and silence, now filled with music, laughter, and locals just enjoying a space that somehow still brings people together. And from a retired place of worship, now to a currently employed one, we move on to Liverpool Cathedral. Next stop, Liverpool Cathedral. Now I have to say guys, the sheer scale of this building is unbelievable. The camera does it no justice. It is huge. Liverpool Cathedral, the biggest in the UK and one of the largest in the world. It took nearly 75 years to build and it's still somehow underrated. Gothic, grand and absolutely massive. Built to lift your eyes to the heavens, and it does, doesn't it? The scale, the silence, the sheer craft of it makes you stop and think, or at least say, damn, that's a big roof. And here's something you might not know. The architect Giles Gilbert Scott was only 22 when he won the design competition. The same bloke who gave us the red phone box. The cathedral's home to the highest and heaviest peal of bells in the world. When they go, you feel it. There's also a lift that takes you right up to the tower, with views across the city and way beyond on a clear day. It's massive, it's clever, and it's still somewhat underappreciated. And now I head back out into the sunshine and down to St James Gardens, or St James Cemetery. I wander down the headstone-lined path to St James Gardens. This was once a quarry, then a cemetery, and now a peaceful little dip in the city full of stories. Over 58,000 people were buried here, including William Huskisson, famous for being the first person ever killed by a passenger train. It's a fairly grim claim to fame. There's still headstones lining the path, old crypts tucked into the walls, and a natural spring that's been trickling away down here for centuries. It's quiet and a bit eerie, but full of character. A bit like the city itself, really. Stepping back out onto the street, and the vibe of the city changes again. This area is known as the Baltic Triangle, a former industrial area, now one of Liverpool's most creative and vibrant districts. Known for street art, independent bars, cafes, studios and startups. A proper urban regeneration success story. You get the feeling just walking through it that the Baltic Triangle is where Liverpool gets creative, loud and just a little bit weird in the best way. And this looks like fun. Alcohol, cardio and traffic chaos, all in the one activity. I'll put the link in the description. Well, it's getting close to lunchtime and my stomach is making more noise than a koala chewing eucalyptus leaves. Time to hit the Baltic Market and feed the beast. Set inside the Old Canes Brewery, the Baltic Market's where Liverpool does lunch properly. Bit of a food hall, bit of a party. Everything from tacos and halloumi fries to wood-fired pizza and loaded burgers. It opened in 2017 and hasn't stopped buzzing since. I went for the Weeping Tiger, spicy beef, loads of kick, £16.95, right up at the top end of the menu, but no regrets. Now guys, that really hit the spot. Quick pit stop at the old Higson Brewery courtyard. Wall says, life's too short not to celebrate nice moments. Too right. Around here, I reckon they'll celebrate every day if you give them half a chance. Heading down past Wapping Quay, loads of old warehouses down here. Bit of old Liverpool still clinging on. The arena's just over there too, and the big wheel, you can't miss it. Always something kicking off around here, gigs, events, all sorts. And the first proper look at Albert Dock now, one of the best spots in the city. Big heavy buildings, all that red brick and iron. You've got the Beatles story tucked away if you fancy diving into all of that. And the views across the dock are class. Boats bobbing about, bit of sea air, and if you catch it on a sunny day, it's bang on. Plenty of shops and cafes around here too, if you need a caffeine top up. There's an old red bus turned into a street food diner. Smells unreal as you walk past. And the Pump House, old Victorian engine house, now a pub. Good spot for a pint, and if the weather's behaving, the outside tables get busy quick. You even get the odd boat sat in dry dock, seen better days, but it's all part of the place really. Bit worn around the edges, but still standing, like half of us on a Friday night. Museum of Liverpool, you can't miss it. Big glass fronted building right on the waterfront. Opened in 2011 and it's the first national museum in the world dedicated to the history of a city like this. Inside, it's not just old bits of pottery and faded photos, although there's plenty of that if you're into it. It's got everything from the city's role in the world wars to the music scene that took over the planet. They even managed to squeeze in a full-size steam locomotive, because of course they did. Liverpool doesn't really do things small, does it? And if you're wondering why there's a big nod to the overhead railway, it's because Liverpool had the world's first electric elevated railway, opened back in 1893 and way ahead of its time. It's the sort of museum where you can probably lose an afternoon without meaning to. And the best bit? It's free. Bit of history, a bit of pride, and a brilliant view over the Mersey when you're done. Can't really ask for more than that. So now we're heading off to the British Music Experience, and just like typical UK weather, it started to rain. Next stop, the British Music Experience. Tucked inside the Cunard building, right on the waterfront, and packed with more music history than you can shake a tambourine at. It's not just Beatles this and Britpop that, it covers the full lot. From when rock and roll first landed, right through punk, glam, indie, rave and everything in between. Got a drum kit played by Queen, guitars used by Coldplay, and outfits worn by the Spice Girls. Full 90s nostalgia overload. Inside, it's a full tour through British music history. Stage costumes, legendary instruments, rare recordings, and stories from the artists who changed everything. Every corner's got something. Whether it's punk jackets from the 70s, synths from the 80s, or handwritten lyrics that kicked off whole movements. You start off thinking you'll be in and out in half an hour. Next thing you know, you're deep diving into the history of synth pop and planning a world tour in your head. It's proper fun, a bit mad, and somehow still makes you feel proud, whether you can actually hold a note or not. I'm on foot again, and I walk past one of the iconic red telephone boxes, and we're heading over to Mathew Street now. You can pretty much hear it before you even see it. Loads of people about, live music pouring out of every doorway. Proper wall-to-wall energy, even in the middle of the afternoon. There's the Cavern Club, still a black statue, and because it's Liverpool, another Beatles museum. There's no mistaking the vibe here. It is pure party. But my party days are behind me, so that taxi's got my name on it. Time to call it a day. One last stroll down to the river. The Liver building standing tall with the city's liver birds still keeping watch. The sun's now setting over the Mersey, a perfect way to end the day. Well, I hope you enjoyed that little wander around Liverpool today. If you haven't watched it, watch the Manchester episode too. Manchester's a fantastic city, just like Liverpool. You'll love it. Until next time, keep adventuring and keep exploring. And remember, your next destination, it's only a Dino away. Catch you later, guys.